3, 2, to the 1. Hey, this is Coach Will from Off of Football. Off of Football is a position-specific technical program. Cut.
How do you feel about that?
I gotta be more enthusiastic.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But just let it flow a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
You're thinking too
it's
much,
robotic.
Coach.
It's
Yeah, you're
robotic.
thinking too much. Yeah. Don't think, man. Just let it flow.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god!
I was rolling. I was trying not to show my face.
Yeah.
You got 3 and to the 1.
To the
Coach, do you think it'd help if we muted our video?
Oh, no, I
Doesn't
can't
look like
see
we're
none
all
of
staring at you.
No, I don't see none of y'all because I got the chat on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
3 and to the 1.
Off of Football, guys.
Hmm.
You're listening to the Encouragers Podcast Show.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, what's up,
what up,
Coach?
Hey, man, I was reading that when you guys were the liquidations from Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I need to get into that, bro. What's up?
I don't know anything about it. Joe has just mentioned it. Him and Tech were talking about it.
So
Yeah,
what,
so
Joe?
I-
You just bid on it?
No, so the one that I'm
It
doing
don't sound like-
is the Walmart one. I'm not sure about, but the one that I heard of is from a guy on TikTok who does it full time. And basically, what he does is he goes onto the Facebook Marketplace, and then he'll type in like liquidation sale, and then after he does it, it'll give him a listing of places where you can buy items that like distributors didn't purchase because they didn't have any money, and then they sell it for like dirt cheap because they just want to move the product. So you just message them and say, "Hey, is this item still available? Will you take $300?" And I did that to about 15 people, and one lady was like, "Yeah, I'll send you pictures. If you want to come out tomorrow to look at the product, you can." So I'm going tomorrow. It's about 35, 40 minutes away to see if it's any good. And if it is, I'm going to pay her $25 to have it shipped to my house. And I'll just put it on my garage and open up the Amazon seller account and eBay account and start posting everything.
I said I got an empty garage, man. I'm ready to do it too, bro.
Hell yeah. No, but you find people all over the place that sell things on eBay full time or sell things on Amazon full time, and they make 80 or 90K a year. But a lot of that money comes from them after they're done doing their 9-to-5 job. You know what I'm saying? So they go to work at 7 in the morning, get off at 3, hang out with the kids. When they go to bed at 8:39, they spend 9 to about midnight, 9 to 1 or 2, filling out orders. And then in the morning when they go to work, they'll just leave 15 minutes early, take everything to the post office, send it all out with tracking or whatever. And that's how they make their money.
Yeah, what sounds most attractive about that piece is that you can make as much money as you put work in. You're not limited. So as much as you want to put in, as much as you want to purchase, it's up to you. That's what's so attractive about that.
Yeah.
95K, dang, as a side hustle.
Yeah.
As a side hustle.
Has a different tax bracket.
Yeah. And honestly, if you think about it, if you really think about it, if we do get this stimulus, it's going to be more money than the first one. Like, I'm not saying we're going to get it. I'm not sure if we are or not, but if it does come, if you find an opportunity like this and you want to see if it's going to work and you know you're going to have a couple extra $100 that you might end up spending on some shoes or something, give it a try, dude. I'd rather try something out and fail and then just give the product away than think to myself, dang, I could have been making all this money years ago. I was just too afraid to try because it was $300 or $400. You know what I'm saying? So, I really hope it works out tomorrow when I go and look at all this, all that stuff. And if it works out, dude, I really want to do it. Give the lady 75% up front. And when those guys bring that liquidated items to my house and put in my garage, I'll give the rest of the money and time to put in that work.
That's right.
That's the thing that separates the 1% from the rest of the people, is they take the information that they heard or learned of and they execute on it. That's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all we got to do is just keep executing.
Yeah, knowledge is not power. Knowledge applied is power.
Mm-hmm.
Say that one more time, Tech, for those in the back. say that one more time for those in the back, Tech. What was that?
Knowledge is not power, but knowledge applied is power.
Yeah. Just think about it, guys. Just think about all the mixes we've ever been to, all the family gatherings that we've ever been to. And there's always been that one person that's been like, I'm going to go give this a try. I'm going to do it. And, we were like, why, dog? You're wasting your money. Like, don't try that. And then they go and try and they're super successful. And they're like, dang, dude, it worked for you. Why can't it work for me? But we don't act on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to risk this $400 to see if it's going to be an investment in myself. I'm betting on myself to win. And if I lose, at least I tried. But I can make that $300-$400 up doing something else. I just want to bet on myself and believe that I'm going to win. That I'm going to make the money that I want to make. I'm just tired of talking about it. I want to be a man of action. I want to get it done. So if the product is legit, I'm gonna run with it, and I'm gonna do it.
That's great. That's good on you. Good on you, Joe. Keep doing it, man. Go for it and let us know how it is.
You said it was colognes?
It was colognes, and then a bunch of like baby products and like some rice makers. Like the little diaper things where you can put a bunch of diapers that are soiled in the thing and then close the top. I don't know what the name of that thing
Diaper
is.
disposals.
Yeah, diaper disposal.
Yeah.
A bunch of those things. So a bunch of cologne, a bunch of rice cookers. Man, I'm excited. I just
that's
really
tight,
hope
man.
that this is like really legit. Yeah, I really hope it's legit. And, I'll put it on here that if it ends up working out and everything is legit, I will go in on another order with one of you guys or all of you guys if you want. We can all split one, and then we'll have it sent to one of you guys. And then when one of you guys gets successful, then the next one of you guys will put in, a little bit of something in for the next person. That way, we're all being successful at it, you know what I'm saying? Not just me. So it's not just me making all this money. I want everybody else in our group to make it, you know what I'm saying? That way in December, we can really all be together in Hawaii or Jamaica, chilling with our families, kicking it, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. Corona's going to keep us home.
Oh, man.
So you're saying the next pallet would come to me, then I would have to organize the whole pallet, take it up, do all the labeling.
Yeah. So basically,
organize everything.
So basically, what I'm saying is if this works out,
so pretty much do work.
Successful, yeah, pretty much. So basically, I will invest in you because I believe in you. You know what I'm saying? So let's say you find a pallet near you and it's like $800. I'll put in $400. I'll go half on it with you because I believe that you're going to take this pallet and sell all the product. You know, does that make sense? That way you're not going in it alone. I'm going in it with you. I'm going to keep you accountable because I'm investing $400. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to ask you for anything back. I just want to do it so you know that somebody else is there to kind of be like, okay, he invested in me. He believes in me. I can do it. Does that make sense? And then,
Damn, you sound like the books I've been reading, man.
Yeah.
hey, man, I'm just saying, dude, I don't want to like live the rest of my life and not believe in myself and the people I surround myself with. In a lot of books and a lot of memes, it says be around people that want to be just as successful as you. So if that means that I have to step out of my comfort zone to try something out, and if it does become successful, dude, I'm bringing it to you guys because it's bringing me money. I want y'all to have the same money that I'm getting too, you know. But you're going to have to put some work in it on your own. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really excited, and I hope it works out
How did
because
you
we
hear
all need to
about
make
this
money.
project?
Dude, it was on TikTok. I was on TikTok scrolling through, and this 20-year-old kid, I'll find the link, and I'll send it to you guys. But the kid was like, dude, I've been making money doing this on the side for a year. And he straight up said all he does is he goes to Facebook, he goes to the marketplace, and then he says wholesale liquidation. And then he finds ones that are in his area, and he'll buy it. And then when he gets it, he sells all of it on either eBay or Amazon. And he showed he made like $7,000 or $8,000 in a month. And he's been doing it for over a year or two now. And that's what he does full time. He just buys liquidation pallets and sells them. That's it. So I don't know if I will be as successful as he is. I just know that I want to provide the opportunity for myself to be successful. So that's my goal. You know, 3 months from now, I want to be able to get help Notis on a pallet. 3 months from then, 6 months from then, I want to help Will get a pallet. You know, and then we'll help Tech, and then we'll all get together at the end of the year, and we'll all just find a pallet that's worth 10 or 15K because we're all making money. We'll all go in on ourselves, and we'll divvy it up, and then we'll all sell, and then we'll just create our own wholesale business where we all become partners, 25% ownership on each of us. And then all we do is we buy liquidation pallets and we sell them on our website, theencouragers.com.org. Something. We'll have to think of something. But we can all invest in this, you know what I'm saying? It's not just the Pongies or other people that can build small businesses into conglomerates. Like, I'm not saying we'll be Amazon, but it sure as hell would be nice to wake up every morning, check your bank account, and see 30 or 40 different payments for like $800 and above. You know what I'm saying? It'd be nice to wake up and not have to go and work somewhere because you have to, but it'll be nice to work somewhere because you want to, because you know you're making lots of money and you want to help other people. So got to have that vision, man. I really want it to work out, dude. I'm willing to take that risk, and I hope it pays off.
I'm going to write that down on my goal book.
No reward without risk, right?
No reward without risk.
Investing
Scared
in
money
yourself.
don't make money. Yep.
Yeah. Facts.
Wait, say that one more time, Coach.
Now, I was just thinking about all the buzzwords that Joe was just talking about. He talked about taking risks, investing in yourself, investing in others, believing. Just a lot of the buzzwords I've been reading and listening to, all these podcasts and all the books that I've been reading. That's a lot of what. It's just a common term with all the successful people that Joe's been talking about.
Yeah, that is a common term. That's what's up, Joe. What were you saying, Tech? What were you saying just now?
Yeah, I was just saying the same thing. Like one one of the podcasts I was listening to had Arnold in it, and he's talking about to always dream big, because pretty much it's better to aim for the stars and miss than to aim for the garbage and hit it. You know.
Yeah.
Mm. Hey, one more time. One more time. One more time for the people in the back. What was that? Quote that. One more time, Tech. What was that?
No, I was just saying because I listened to a podcast and it had Arnold in it, and he pretty much said to dream big, always dream big, but then that people are scared to dream big because they're scared to fail. But the bottom line was he was just saying it's better to aim for the stars and miss than to aim for the garbage and hit it.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
But that was like pretty much the moral of his little speech that he was giving.
See, the thing about all this stuff, like all the positive, all the things that we're listening to, like we seek that stuff. Like, we're trying to better ourselves. Like, what do you do with the people that are just day to day not doing anything, man? Like, don't even involve themselves, don't even think about this type of, bettering and seeking self-improvement. What do you like? You gotta want to be a person to be wanted to self-improve, right? Or else you're not going to get it. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
I believe it. Also, I've heard somebody say that if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to find another room. And I feel that that's true, In order to be more successful than you are, you need to find other people that are doing better than you, regardless of age, because they've found a way to be better at something than you are. So if you
what makes a person, why would you want to do that? If you're just, go to work, come home, go to work, come home, like where do you want to do it? Like, how does someone get to that point? Like, you got to want to, right?
Yeah.
I think when it comes to a point when people hit rock bottom, they're tired of the way life is going for them. They're tired of going to their 9 to 5. They know there's something better. And then the thing is, they start going out there and looking for what's better.
Because it doesn't. This type of thinking, it doesn't just happen. I mean,
no. I think something's got to happen to them before they can have this type of thinking. And I think they hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
Either hit rock bottom, or they just have that change. They get tired of working their 9 to 5 and try to do something else.
One of the things that I've learned from reading and from doing my own studies is like the people who are really successful, they've always had somebody. They always had the power of mentorship to kind of guide them, to kind of help them. They can't just do it by themselves because they don't know where to go. And so a lot of the people they've tried to find a person to kind of help them lead and try to fulfill their desires, and that's why they are where they are. And I think that's what the importance of this podcast is: try to create conversation, try to create encouragement for those who are looking for something better. So for all those who are listening right now that hit rock bottom, man, this is the reason why we kind of put this together. Specifically for us, us 5, us 4, plus Paul. But that's a commonality from reading a lot of these books. They've always had somebody there to guide them.
And then the thing that I heard, I keep on, there's levels to it. You can't just come in here and go with the Jeff Bezos already, have that mentality and that work ethic. There's levels, little by little. You hear something maybe on a podcast, or you see something on Instagram quote, and you go from there, right?
Absolutely.
Man, we wanted to talk about the Poly Spotlight with the, this being the highest NFL draft with Polynesian players.
Yeah, I just read somewhere that this year's NFL 2020 NFL draft was the highest Polynesian draft class that we've had.
Give it up.
Which-
Give it
but
up for the
yeah.
Poly, man.
And
100.
even I don't know how many polys got drafted, but I just read that there was quite a bit, and there's a lot of undrafted free agents that got drafted as well.
Yeah, that's huge, man. I know Tua was, the main Polynesian spotlight. I mean, like he had a lot of attention on him because of what he did at Alabama. But man, there's several other cats, man. Now you see every year a lot of Polynesians going to the NFL.
And we knew this was going to happen. It was just a matter of time.
Wow. Say that one more time, Coach. We knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, we knew that this was going to happen. I think the sport of football kind of fits our demeanor and fits our culture. The aggressive, the smarts, the quickness. We're just too big and too fast to not be successful in the NFL. And I think what made this breakthrough was just opportunity. And so a lot of these families found a lot of good opportunities. And now look at the results, man. Families are changing now, especially the Polynesian family.
Yeah, that's
because
huge.
of football, because of sports.
Absolutely. That's all you know. The only way you can get out from poverty is athletics. Just growing up, that's the only way out. And so we've seen the results of it this past draft.
There's a statistic that says Polynesians represent 5.4% of the top 204 players selected in the 2020 NFL draft, despite being only 0.3% of the U.S. population. So that's a big number. I mean, that's huge, right?
Huge.
So basically, what does that mean in math terms?
It's basically, which means the same thing as getting in the NFL. It's less than 1% that get in the league. And that statistic is even lower for Polynesians. It's like 0.0001%. And even,
Yeah, and the great thing about Tua going high, he's a quarterback. He's not like a position that typically gets, a lot of praise for being Polynesian. Like Polynesian players are usually in the lineman area, right?
Trenches, yeah.
Lineman
usually
trenches.
in the trenches.
So that's a big win for us. I mean, Marcus Mariota went as a quarterback, right? He got drafted and he was pretty high up there, but Tua doing it. And now that's going to set the precedence for other. Who's that quarterback that plays for the Chiefs? Polynesian quarterback type?
Yeah, he just got picked up during the off season. He came over from the XFL. Jason Ta'amu, I want to say his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So the Chiefs picked him up from the XFL. And I was watching some of his highlights, and he looks like a little Mahomes, man. The way he plays and the way he throws the ball and runs. But I really couldn't tell how he really played it because most of the highlights I've seen, there wasn't really no pressure on him. So he had all day to throw. I think he'll be like the third or fourth string.
Yeah, I just sent you a link. Man, Polynesians, free agents, there's a lot of them. A couple of signed to the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders. You got David Moore, Tongan, Minnesota Vikings. Ray Lima signed a free agent deal with the Miami Dolphins. Braden Fehoko, the one that was at LSU, he signed a free agent deal with Los Angeles Chargers.
Nice.
Aleva Hifo, he signed a free agent deal with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City.
BYU.
Where did he go to?
BYU.
Tipa Gale, Green Bay Packers. I mean, this is a huge list, man. Brendan Bowen, To the Carolina Panthers. I don't see anyone signed to the Bears. That's we can end that now if everybody knows that I'm a huge Chicago Bears fan. But yeah, there's how many people got drafted? Let's see here. Says I don't know the number.
There's quite a bit though.
A lot. There's a ton. Next year will be a lot too. There's a lot of Polynesians that'll go to the NFL next year too, and the year after that.
Yeah, I think every year from now on, it's just going to keep growing.
Changing families' lives, right, Coach?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, changing family lives, changing family situations. It's a blessing all the way around. Financially, you have money to pay for cavenas. you know.
Yeah, but when you get that kind of money, you have family members you don't even know.
Yeah. Mm.
Family members start coming from everywhere.
I know. I'm gonna have to start looking at my history book to make sure I'm not related to any of those draft picks.
Yo, weren't you related to her?
Bust out the family tree.
That's it.
Hey, if you flip your mic up, it'll mute it, like the com sets.
Yeah.
When we're coaching on the football field, there's a lot of coaches that have that mic right next to their mouth and they're yelling at their players, just yelling at them. Coach, put your mic up, because as soon as you flip it up, then you can't hear it anymore. So sorry for those kids, man. Hey, this is Coach Will from Off of Football. It's a program we created, a position-specific program focused on the basic fundamentals of frontline play. If you want to train with the best big man training academy in the state of Utah or in Idaho, you can visit us at offfootball.org. We believe that 98% of the mistakes that a lineman makes transpires before the ball is snapped. And OFA wants to teach you linemen how to avoid these pre-snap mistakes. Again, visit us at offfootball.org. That's OFFA football.org.
So our encouraging words for this week comes from Mike Tyson. I think it was when he was going to fight Evander Holyfield. And when he's being interviewed about that fight, he says, everybody has a plan until they get punched. Meaning in life, everybody has a plan. We have a goal. We get set to do things in life. But then eventually we get punched in the mouth. And something happens, something goes wrong. That's when your true character shows up, is what you do afterwards you get punched. Do you get up and keep going? Or what do you do after? So our encouraging words for the week is to get up from that punch after life punches you in the mouth and keep going.
That's what's up.
That's nice.
Good job.
That was perfect.
Nice.
That was great.
And I would have had to practice that a couple times. What's up, Jeff?
But y'all didn't know I was practicing that all night last night at work.
I saw you had to get your composure too right before you started.
That's
what's up. It was perfect.
Yeah, especially getting punched by Mike Tyson.
Hell yeah.
For real.
You seen that dude right now, the way he's been punching
now,
those bags?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Have you seen his updated pics on Instagram?
Dang, dude.
Man.
And he's talking about a comeback. I heard even Holyfield is talking about a comeback.
Yeah.
I saw something on Facebook. Did you guys see that? There's a playbill of him and versus Holyfield set for a date. I don't know if it was real or not. I think it was fake.
And then I seen Conor McGregor is gonna do another boxing match with who's the Hispanic guy? HBO.
Canelo?
No, who sponsors? Who's his promoter?
Vargas?
Old guy.
Macho
Old
Camacho.
Mexican guy?
Yeah, the Mexican guy, not Macho Camacho.
De La Hoya.
De La Hoya. Yeah, I heard
Golden
him
Boy
and
Promotions?
I heard him and Conor McGregor is gonna go at it.
Oscar De La Hoya?
Yeah.
Connor's going to get beat up again.
Yeah. Boxing is not the same as MMA.
Everybody's running
Yeah.
out of money. They're trying to find different ways to try to get money.
Yeah.
What you mean? Oh, for like the professional sports?
Yeah. Their
Yeah.
lifestyle. They got to keep up with their lifestyle, so they're trying to find different ways to create some revenue, which they can, right?
Yeah, but how they create revenue if no fans can watch the fight?
They're
Dang,
just
that's
gonna
a
have
good question.
what
That's
they're
a
gonna
good
have is
question.
just they're gonna have a bunch of like iPads and TVs everywhere, and then people are just gonna be, watching the fight from the screens.
Charging them for the seat.
Charging it for the seat. Each seat has an iPad.
Whew. Full 3. What's that thing on
Whoa.
Facebook where you do the picture and it's 3D and you can move it around? What is that called? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where you
Yeah,
can see the picture and turn around. I wonder if they would do that. That'd be pretty cool if they had that. Buy a front row seat for like $20K and then you can see everything.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta send you food and drinks too for that. Jeez, for that price?
No, because my friend said he watched the last MMA. Oh, it was you, Joe.
Yeah.
The last
what's it on?
UFC fight.
Yeah.
And it was
What?
weird because you could hear the cornerman talking.
Yeah, it was really weird because they're in the middle of the ring and they're fighting, and then you can hear the coach yell out, "Stop being a little bitch! Start hitting with the hook." I was like, dude, what the hell? He's like, "Start with the leg kicks. What are you doing? You're waiting too long." I'm like, dang.
You really can't
Yeah, you
hear
can
it
hear
when there's a lot
everything.
of fans, huh?
Can't hear anything.
Oh, that's bad for football too. You got to hear all the coaches copy from the sideline.
Yeah.
Dang. All the players too. Oof.
Well, I guess they
They
won't
said
be
they're
needing
going to start opening up soon.
Hope so.
We'll see.
So even if the football coaches use the playbook to cover their mouth, it'll do no good.
Yeah, they even talked about it on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan mentioned it because he was calling the fight, or he was commentating, and he was saying that the cutmen and everybody were just going back and forth, and then you see the fighters adjusting to each other because of what the corners were saying, their corner people were saying.
Wow.
Yeah, so the whole situation of the fight changed, man. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that changes everything.
It's counter to the counter. Like, oh, I hear coach yelling to throw this. I'm ready for it. Wow. That's interesting.
So now you got to be like baseball. Instead of like the catcher just throwing one sign out, throw like 3 different signs out, and then even like football, you tell them to throw a counter, but it actually means something else.
Okay, so verbally, because that would be a problem if you try to do it visually to the fighter, because the fighter's getting beat up and you're just, doing,
Yeah, no, but for
verbally,
but
like shouting it out.
Fighting, for fighting, you could say like go into your southpaw stance, but it actually means to do something else.
Yeah,
but I think you would constantly have to keep doing that because
and
once
it's got to change every fight, so nobody can. So there'll be no kind of pattern.
And even during the fight, wouldn't you think?
Yeah. Like the last one, if you guys ever watch any of the fights on YouTube, like some of the fighters' coaches have names. Like they'll start saying Nancy, or they'll say pizza, or something like that, and that I think that means like a certain combination that they want that fighter to do, and then the next round they'll say Karen or name something else. So I think that some of those corners kind of build that in, months up to the fight. That way, when the fighter hears, hey, we need you, do Karen, and that's like, a leg kick, and then like a left hook or a combo of some kind. So I think that all that stuff is interesting and cool. But something we should definitely try to get together and do like a football game or like I don't know, something where we kind of get together like this and talk like this and talk about the game. Have coach drop some wisdom on us on what this defense is doing or something like that. I think that'd be fun. More exposure for Alpha too.
I mean that's interesting because like there's you can steal a lot of signals in the game of football. That's why everybody covers their mouth up, right? And when you put up signals up in the air, we always have somebody on the opposite. Or like for me, I got binoculars up in the box, so I'm watching the opposition, and so certain signals that they throw up tells me there's the personnel cues, right? Personnel meaning how many tight ends and how many running backs. So I got to put in the right defense. And so I tell our defensive coordinator what personnel is they calling in. Like a fist may mean like 11 personnel. It's like one running back, one tight end, which means there's 3 receivers. And so we have to match those personnels. But you steal those things so that you're ready as a defense to put in the right, just to prevent them from doing it. Because you can't put in your big package if they have a bunch of receivers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now there's not going to be any fans, and so now everybody's going to have to make a transition and be different because you're going to be only one on the field, with the signals that everybody's watching you. That's trippy.
Man.
That changes the whole game.
Mm-hmm. I think this was right around your time, Will, when you was playing at ASU. How teams would have like the big boards with like it would be like a claw, then it'd be like an Oregon duck, and then the bottom would be like a picture of the ocean and then a tree. Like, would that stuff ever confuse you guys when they would throw up 2 or 3 of those?
Absolutely.
Trying to call offense. Because I've always thought, I was like, dude, that is crazy that they would throw these things up there like that, trying to disguise the offensive play or defensive play.
Yeah. Yeah, so they put those boards up, and it's like 4 different plays, and so then they already know which play that they're looking at, and it's just to confuse the opposition so they don't know what they're running. But it was more geared towards the no huddle offense.
Okay.
That's why they put the board up so guys can look at it while they're walking up to the line of scrimmage, and they can run that play right away. It was Oregon. I think Oregon who invented it.
Yeah. I never really realized how intense it got in football games when it came to, I don't know, was it 30 seconds or 60 seconds before the play has to go off? But just how intense it is, we're like, offense will call a play. Then you look at the defense. Defense will look at, the defensive coach will call a play. Then he gets to the play out, and then he looks back, sees the formation. Then he goes back and starts moving guys around. Like, it's just a game of, like, chess, man.
Straight up, it is. A lot of times it's just guessing based on what you watch on film.
Mm-hmm.
You're just guessing, hopefully, hoping that, you're in the right defense, you're in the right coverage to protect yourself. Yeah, it does get really intense. Plays with your mind. That's why I can't be on the sideline. I only have to be up in the box because I get too emotional downstairs.
Yeah.
Just because when dudes do stuff wrong, I think about it the whole time, and I forget about the game plan that we created going into the game. And so I just be calling whatever I want. And so it used to get me in trouble a lot, And I'm just calling whatever I want on the football field.
Man, it's tight though. So now you're just chilling up in the box.
Yeah, man, I'm a box guy now. Like, it's just funny to
Do you
when
get
I start.
emotional in the box?
Oh yeah, all the time. Just just because I know what's coming. I watch so much film that I know based on formation and where the players are at. I know what plays they like, what plays they like to run. And
Mhm.
our players they're not executing what we did in practice, You're relying on them to rely on the practice that we've done during the week
Yeah.
to
Oh man,
prepare for that.
how
And
much
that's
time do
where,
you have? Oh, I'm sorry. What
go
was that?
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was saying, how much time do you have from when the play is done, the mic is on, and then you see what they're doing? Well, how much time do you have to relay what you're seeing to the coach before your mic gets turned off? Because is that how it works? Like you only have what, like 10, 15 seconds, and then it cuts off?
Yeah, in the NFL, for the quarterbacks to talk to the quarterbacks, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's only because in the NFL they have mics in their helmet where they can hear the play. So
Oh,
they
okay.
cover their mouths to tell them to play. I think it's 15 seconds. As soon as 15 seconds is over, then that microphone cuts off in their ear, and then they run the play. But like when the defense is out there, I'm concentrating more on what packages are coming in and out of the football field. When the offense goes out, then that's when we write down all our stats. We transfer all our information and try to figure out, okay, this is what they like to do on 1st and 10. This is what they like to do based on down the distance. And then we game plan it accordingly so we have a plan for the next series. You know, but
Man, that's dope.
if the offense is going 3 and out, it's hard for us to make adjustments, to try to find that pattern of how they're attacking us.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't
Do
even
you
know what goes
prefer?
on offense.
Yeah, no, it's just
I don't,
strictly just defense doing what you got to do, and that's it.
yeah, just because we're writing stuff down, we're drawing stuff on the board on the side, trying to
Mm-hmm.
figure out how we can be a little bit more, successful and not let them drive on us and score another touchdown.
Man, man, I bet you be getting hella hyped when y'all be stopping them and stuff. 3 and outs.
Oh, you already
What's
know.
better for you? Yeah, what's better? What do you consider better for you, like a shutout or winning a close game?
That's a good question. I think everybody loves shoutouts. That just means that we're clicking at all cylinders.
Mm-hmm.
And the close games I think that's what builds the character. That's when we get punched in the mouth. But, you know, that just comes down to our players. And that's the importance of recruiting, because the players don't do, like, it happens in the league all the time, man. Like, they got to be able to understand what their responsibilities are. And they always make mistakes. But that's why you try to get the best athletes out there, because even though you make mistakes, if you got multiple athletes out there, they kind of cover up all the mistakes that the other players make. That makes
Mm.
sense. If you got a speedster, if you got somebody who's really fast or good at playing man, you don't really have to like do too much because you got a lot of athletes that can cover for those mistakes. Unless you just have guys that have been playing the game together for a long time, that they just know how to play together.
Mm.
But I would say a blowout. The blowouts are. I rather get on the opposite side. I rather get blown out than lose by a point or lose by a touchdown. You know what I mean? Last minute, just blow me
Yeah,
out.
I agree.
Then I have a bad week and get ready for the next game.
They opening things up in Utah yet? For teams to
Yeah.
start getting together and practice and stuff?
So we got a football camp that we put together that nobody knows about.
Oh,
It's
for real?
It's an invite-only football camp for linemen.
Nice.
So I invited the top offensive and defensive linemen in the state of Utah. It'll be here, and just for us to get together to kind of put some stuff on film. It'll be at Juan Diego High School this Saturday. They'll be swagged out in some OFA gear that we
Nice.
got for the kids. And then I told all the kids that they can't put nothing on social media until after. You know, we don't want too many people at the event. So that'll be fun. It's fun when you have the number one player in the state of Utah that's going to be there, the number two, the number three, you know, prospect in the state that's going to be at the camp.
You got to put them together, man. You got to let them go at it.
And then they call me like crazy, asking me when we're going to do it again because, you know, they want to go against good competition.
Yeah. Man, Coach, I had a quick question for you. Whenever you post on Twitter, I'm always watching those videos. But what's the importance of when the defensive lineman, when he goes down, then he has to do like the rock, you know, and then he gets down and kind of like rocks and then moves his hand around. What's the importance of that?
What was your question again?
So I was watching one of your videos on Twitter, and you had these linemen doing a drill where they stand up, and then you have them do the 3-point stance. But before you get into his 3-point stance, you have them rock.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So what's the importance of that? Because when I saw that, I was like, dang, I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to wrestling, UFC fighting, right? You got to be able to distribute your weight and feel the weight distribution in your feet. So like if you're going to get thrown, you know how to like sink your weight a certain way so that you can't get thrown. Does that make sense? So
Okay.
Yeah, you know, because somebody's going to throw you to the ground, you know how to like distribute your weight in wrestling so you can't get thrown. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You got to be able to feel your balance, your normal balance. And so I have those guys rock so they can feel their weight in their body. Because football is not straight line, man. Football's different kind of directions, and so they got to be able to warm their feet up so they can move and react to the offensive lineman's movement.
Nice. Oh, okay. I thought that was cool. I thought that was dope. I was like, man, I gotta ask him next time I talk to him because just seeing each one of them do that, I was like, damn, this dude is teaching them like the most basic fundamentals that are gonna help them be really successful as they move up. Like, I think just with anything, when you learn the basics and you do them correctly, you know, it helps you get stronger and better. So I thought that was dope, Coach.
Yeah, man. I was reading a book. It was talking about some guys from the military saying that when bullets start flying, the soldiers don't panic because they've relied on their basic fundamentals. No one panics, you know. So when you teach a kid or you teach a person the fundamentals of whatever they're going into, when bullets start flying, people start to panic, people run, people hide, you know. And so the soldiers, they learn how to stick to the fundamentals, stick to the footwork and whatever they learned in camp and apply it when it's hard. Same concept.
That's a great concept. Not only that applies to technique and form in playing football, the game of football, but also towards adversity within your own personal life. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
So that when bullets start flying towards you personally and to your family, let's say you deal with dealing with a death or dealing with bills, can't pay a bill or something, or dealing with a car accident, just normal everyday things, that when that type of adversity hits, you don't duck and run between your tail between your legs. You know how to, you know, turn and face that opposition or adversity and keep going, right?
You rely on your training. That's all it is.
Expound on that, Coach.
Yeah, man. So the military guy who was speaking talked about holding your point. That was their main deal: is hold your point, right? And then the soldiers, they have certain points that they have to get to. I only know because I play those video games, right? You get to a point, you're successful, and you have to get to another point, right? And so they talked about holding your point, making sure that everybody has a job, everybody knows what they're supposed to do. And the most important part is relying on the guy next to you that he's going to do his job, and all that just comes from discipline, from, you know, doing it over and over again, million, thousand reps. So when you get in a situation where it becomes hard, it's easy because you've done it for, so many times.
I used to want to pretend that I wanted to join the military and become a Navy SEAL. And then you ever watch their training, the Navy SEAL training? You ever seen any of those videos or documentaries?
Yeah.
Well, the whole premise is they put them through hell for certain weeks, right? They only go off of a certain amount of sleep for the whole week or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then the whole reason for doing that, I think the underlining thing for doing that is to see if they're going to quit on their brother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
A lot of universities, football programs are trying to implement those type of strategies into their trainings during the off season. So they always bring in like military guys to come and teach them that same concept, because the military they've mastered it. America's mastered it in the military, and so they want to implement those same concepts, those same principles into football, because it's the same thing.
Yeah, you're going into battle against other people. It's a game, right? But like, literally, you got to rely on the next dude to do his job.
Yeah,
playing sports, man. Playing football back in my Dixie days, that was fun, man.
That was fun.
It was fun. Junior college days, man. Dixie Rebels. Now they're the Dixie Stagecoach or something, right? Anyhow, but yeah, that's deep, man. So many fundamental key things. Learning, man. Expound on that, man, because that's off the hook. Jeez. You know, when I realized what they were doing with the Navy SEALs, like they treat them that harsh and put them through that much hell to see if they will quit. I'm like, damn, that's it? Oh, jeez.
If they will go ring the bell, huh?
Yeah, ring the bell. Yep. It's amazing.
Man, the mental fortitude for that type of emotional, physical, and mental destruction you're going through for those amount of weeks in order to really call that person next to you your brother. Like, that's intense, man.
And we need stuff that will help us build up ourselves to withstand some of these things that we deal with on a daily basis. Reading good books, involving being around good people, like-minded people, high goals or high values. I think being around those things and seeking out those intentionally seeking out those things will help us when those times of adversity and times of, whatever happen, like COVID right now. You can see who the people were prepared and the people who will have crumbled because of this thing.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And usually if you're prepared, you're not scared.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
You're ready.
Sounds like that's a scripture. I love it, Tech. If you are prepared, you should not fear.
Yeah.
You look that one up. What is that one?
I think it's all over.
Yeah, and that's a lot about the training, man. It's making the kids feel uncomfortable, and just learning how to play when you're tired. Learning how to think when you're tired. And I think that's what the successful people talk about a lot, man. It's being able to adjust. The word they use a lot on the books that I researched is pivot. Learning how to pivot.
What? Dude, yeah. The game of football is amazing. Not only are you teaching the kids, I I don't realize it now until now. You know, back when I was playing, I didn't realize all that stuff. But that's some deep stuff. You're not just teaching; you're teaching life skills.
I think the schedule of a college football player, no matter what level, is definitely teaching you a lot. You got to get up early. You got to work out, eat, and you have classes. You got to learn. And after that, you have another practice, maybe work out, do conditioning. Then you have to come home and you got to study. And I think that's a good enough preparation for, if football ends up not being the thing that you're going to do, then you've been doing something for 4 years that's prepared you for, life outside, you know, life outside of college.
Yeah, it really tests yourself to like, because I remember playing and training. It's hard. It's harder to train in the off season because you don't have a football game coming up. And like you kind of second guess yourself if you really want to play ball, you know. So like for all these high school kids to be excited that they got a football scholarship, they don't understand that all of a sudden they become slaves to the game once they enter into that 4-year university. You know, it's just the way that how they handle it. And they may be good in high school, but when you go to college, man, everybody's good. And so that's a lot of things that I keep in mind when I train the kids. It's like, I'm not preparing you to just show up and get a scholarship, man. I'm preparing you to at least when you arrive, that you're prepared and you can at least compete for a position. I don't want you to redshirt. I want you to play so you can maximize a lot of your time, so you're not just doing whatever you want. And I think that's what separates off from everybody. It's just the mindset, the direction that we want to go. When you graduate from high school and you go to college, I don't want you just to be a red shirt or just go through the motions unless you have to. I want you to go there and compete.
You're listening to the Encouragers Podcast Show.